All right, everybody, quick intro to the work that we're doing today. Um, we are starting our new unit, Reconstruction and the Closing of the Frontier. So today's your reading day, so I'm going to find it right here on Wednesday. Same deal as before. The reading guide is in here. The links to the readings are posted on this document, and the suggestion is that you read through and you're able to identify the things that are on the list. This is a shorter one because we have slightly less time. So there's only 2 chapters. So make sure that you're going through and taking some notes so you're ready for the reading quiz. You can use your notes on the quiz, so it's in your best interest to do a little bit of work here. In terms of this chapter, we're really covering 2 kind of separate topics. So Reconstruction is the period that happens right after the end of the Civil War and goes through the 1870s. And so what we see here, sometimes people call Reconstruction the Second Civil War. What we see here is a pretty radical shift in terms of how we're making decisions in terms of laws in the United States. So we see 3 pretty important amendments that happen, 13, 14, and 15. These are known as the Civil Rights Amendment or Civil War Amendments, and they deal with ending slavery and expanding rights for African Americans in the United States. And then you have basically Congress, a radical Congress taking over and trying to uphold the rights for these newly freed people who had been enslaved. And then as we get towards the end of the chapter, you're going to see the politics shifts, and there's a pushback by people in the South. And you see the KKK is listed here. That is the KKK. And there's a pushback against these changes happening. So by the end of Reconstruction, a lot of the push forward that had happened gets pushed back. If you go into chapter 40, then you're getting a whole different set of topics, and this is basically the U.S. government's interactions with Native people after the Civil War towards the end of the 1800s. So by the end of this period, all Native people in the United States have been moved to reservations. And basically that's done through, part of it is the treaty process, and part of it is the U.S. Army enforcing that movement. So it's a pretty sad history this last couple of decades of the 1800s. The last kind of event that people think of when they think of the closing of the frontier is the Wounded Knee Massacre, which is one of the more harsh events of American history. So kind of 2 separate things. We will go through some stuff on Reconstruction tomorrow, and then next week we'll do a couple of topics related to the closing of the frontier. And then that's kind of it. We're working on the reading quiz, so we should hope to have that up and ready by the end of the week. But if you want to get a jump start on the reading today, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. I will see everybody again on Friday. If you have questions in the meantime, you can send me an email.